Hey guys, I'm Jesse from Mullen Woodworks. Today we're going to go over how to assemble this Kobalt 10-inch portable table saw. Let's get to it. So you're going to start by cutting open the box. You're going to open the top, and then you're going to cut all four sides as well so that the styrofoam is completely exposed. Keep the saw in the styrofoam because it's a lot easier to assemble. Separate the upper and lower packing trays, leaving the base section of the saw in the lower tray while completing the first 8 steps. Remove the lower right leg assembly from the packaging, then remove both washers and the nut from each side so you can attach the wheels onto the assembly. After the wheels are attached, set aside the wheel assembly and we'll go back to it later. Next we'll be attaching the left leg cross piece with the left front leg and the left rear leg of the assembly. You'll be using 2 of the 50mm screws to attach the cross piece. Next, attach the left leg end onto the leg assembly and use the 35mm bolts to attach it. Now with the table still in the lower packing tray, attach both handles to the table with the 1.5-inch cap screws and nuts. Now attach the leg assembly to the table saw. You'll be using the 75mm carriage bolt with a spacer and a nut. Now these will be inserted into the holes right next to the handles you just previously attached. After that, you're going to be installing the wheel assembly to the base. You'll be using 2 75mm carriage bolts again with spacers and the nuts. And this is being attached to the base assembly that you just attached in the last step. After you have the assembly attached, go ahead and cut the zip ties off the base assembly. Next, raise the narrowest part of the stand to help align the holes. Insert the spacers between the legs and secure with the 75mm cap screw and nut. So now you'll need to stand up the saw, but stop. Remove the fence and the other attachments before you do this, because you'll see what happens if you don't. So the next step is really important. You want to release the height adjustment locking lever and tilt the blade to 45 degrees. This will release and remove the packing material under the motor. This is really important. If you forget to do that and you try to change it to 45 with the blade inserted, you could break the motor. Install the height adjustment knob and use the Phillips screw to attach it, then adjust the saw back to the 0 degree mark. Raise the blade and remove the riving knife. There's a little lever, and see the manual if you need more details. Remove the saw blade from the packaging and also find both wrenches located underneath the saw. They are attached with a wing nut. Just unscrew the wing nut and pull both wrenches out. Now remove the bolt and 1 washer from the table saw. Then make sure that the saw blade is oriented in the right direction. Then apply the washer and the nut back onto the saw. Place the open end wrench on the flats of the arbor shaft and insert the closed end wrench over the blade nut and tighten the blade. Now insert the riving knife back into the table saw and grab the throat plate and insert it back into this table saw as well. Use the top screws to adjust the throat plate so it's flush with the table saw. Now attach the anti-kickback pawls and the blade guard onto the riving knife. See the manual for more details. Attach the fence onto the table saw by going over the 2 black nuts. Putting the fence on the 2 black nuts associates it with the black measurements. If you put them on the white nuts, then it associates it with the white measurements. Now your Kobalt portable table saw is put together and now ready to use. Thanks for following along. If you enjoyed this video and it was helpful, leave a comment, a like, and make sure you subscribe. Thanks.